Hi there, this is Ronnie coming at you with a video. Happy New Year, everyone. This is being filmed and put out on the 1st of January 2018. Hi to everyone. This is a bit of an update video. It's not quite a rant, but a few months ago I made a video about someone seeking advice because there was someone who was going into my friendly local gaming store who was on the spectrum. And is clearly sort of challenged intellectually. In so much as he doesn't seem to pick things up quickly, or possibly more accurately, slower than the average. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's unintelligent. He's clearly not. We'll get back to that. But he's what we used to call around here slow on the uptake. Since then, I've actually gotten him into a game that he's playing at my friendly local gaming store with my group. Now, the game that I've been running has been pretty much every fortnight, give or take. Sometimes, because I've been other places, a game has had to not run on that day. But give or take, it's about been every fortnight. And he's been with us now a good 10 sessions. Maybe a little slightly more, slightly less, but roughly 10. And these sessions are a good 3-4 hours a session. So he's been gaming with us now for a good 35, going on 40 hours. Now, I am using Savage Worlds. Now, Savage Worlds is a fairly simple system to use. For anyone who hasn't used Savage Worlds, I'll explain the basics of it. As a player, you have all your traits, your stats and skills are a die code. So when you're rolling, you will roll that die. But because you are a player character, you're known as a wild card. And wild cards also get a d6. This is not added on to the score. This is it's like a separate. It's 2 chances to succeed. If you don't have the skill, then you can still roll it, but you roll it as if it's as if the skill was a d4, but -2. Now you still get your wild die with that, and you roll them, and whatever the number, you would then subtract 2 off it. Also, dice explode. If you get the top, it's called an ace. If you get the top number off at any die, so 6 on a d6 or an 8 on a d8, 10 on a d10, it's called an ace. You get to roll it again and add it on. Now, that's the basics of the system. Really is. And damage can also ace. And that's the basics of the system. Now, I accept that it might take a session for someone new to get the basics of Savage Worlds. It might even take 2 or 3 sessions to feel really confident with it. I mean, I had a couple of players playing Interface Zero, And it took them a session or two. I mean, they hadn't gamed much in a while. It took them a session or two to just really really feel comfortable, so they knew what they were doing. But by the end of the game, and we only played sort of 5-6 sessions, but by the sort of halfway point, they were fine with it. This player, however, has been playing now, as I say, for some 30, 35, 40 hours. And he's not getting even the basics of the system. And it's not as if he's been left on his own. People are helping him and telling him what he needs to roll. And it's as if he's not retaining the knowledge. What's worse, moreover, is that oft-times he's not listening when things are happening. When things are happening in a game, he's not listening. Or he only half hears what's being said. So he suddenly comes up with these very weird ideas. And this is because he's not listening to what's being said. And it's starting to frustrate my players, and I have to say it's starting to frustrate me. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost dreading him being in the game, and I don't want that. I really don't. I have sort of set him aside and got the basics out to him again and again, and he's just not retaining it. Now, this is a guy who plays chess, so it's not like he can't remember stuff. And he doesn't have an awful lot of distractions. He has told us about his home life. I'm not going into details here, but he has very few distractions at home. So I don't know. I find myself in the unfortunate position of now considering letting him go from the game. And I don't like that. Because I feel like the bad guy. I feel like I've failed as a GM in some way. And to a certain extent, it's true. I have failed as a GM because I haven't been able to get him. I haven't gotten him to where he should be. But I think where I'm worried is there's only so much of this bridge I can make. He's got to come across. And I wouldn't mind so much if he would just say, I'm not getting it. But he won't. I start to annoy people. One of my players did actually sort of react on Sunday, which I think he was a little upset by, because he was talking about he's played in sort of Pathfinder Society games, and they haven't been upset about him. For those who don't know the Pathfinder Society, although they can be linked campaigns, they're very much done as sort of single session games. They're not multi-session. What I'm running at the moment is a campaign. So I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. I just don't know what the answer is. I find myself regrettably looking at kicking him from the game, which I really don't want to do. But I'm kind of worried that if I don't, I don't think he's going to pick it up. I really don't. I mean, if he hasn't picked it up by now, I don't think he's going to pick up the game's rules. And he's starting to frustrate the players, both with his I'm sure a lot of it is inability to grasp the concepts, but it comes across as unwillingness to grasp the concepts of the game. And we're not playing a particularly difficult setting. I mean, it's Shaintar. It's sort of epic high fantasy. It's pretty, pretty full on sort of normal fantasy game by Savage World standards. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck in a groove at the moment. Not sure what I'm gonna do. My worry is that there really isn't a good choice, but I'm not sure what else to do. So yeah, bit of a downer for the start of the year. Who knows? Maybe things will get better. If anyone's got any ideas, suggestions, how to get him into the game, how to let him down gently, please leave in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.